You know, with as airtight as the MCU has been in general with its canon, one of the things that's always bothered me is, well, basically Iron Man 3 in terms of canon. And honestly, at this point, I should just let it go because canon is canon and I just want good stories, right? But still, it is kind of jarring every time you go back and we watch the MCU and you see Iron Man 3 with the ending that it has, and then go to Avengers Age of Ultron, and Tony is like, yep, I have a 43rd suit. Okay. Great. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Access Blockbusters. In today's video, you've read the title, we are going to be ranking every single kind of Iron Man suit in the MCU that Tony Stark has worn. Now, a couple disclaimers up front. No, this is not every single Iron Man suit. If you guys want to see a mega video where I actually critique every single Iron Man suit that's actually been shown in art and concept art, well, make sure to support the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and do all that stuff. But I will only be ranking the suits that Iron Man has worn in the film. So basically, I won't be ranking stuff like Mark 17 or Heartbreaker or Red Snapper, or all of the suits that I actually know the names of. But we're just going to be ranking the suits that Tony Stark himself wore in the films. And that leads to my second disclaimer, which is we are only going to be ranking the suits that Tony Stark has worn in the films. So no Iron Spider, no Rescue Armor, and no War Machine armors as well. We'll save those for another video, again, if this video does well. Again, make sure to subscribe, give this video a like, do all that sort of stuff if you enjoyed and you want to see more of this Iron Man ranking content, or just ranking content in general. We can rank, I don't know, Captain America suits, we can rank other Avenger costumes if you want, up to you guys. And without further ado, let's get into it. Coming in at number 15 is the Mark 1 Iron Man suit. So this is a completely subjective list, and I understand if you guys think that the Iron Man Mark 1 suit looks really cool. In fact, it does look very cool. But honestly, at the end of the day, when you think about Iron Man, you don't necessarily think about Mark 1. And while I know it's an homage to the comic books and his early iterations of the suit, it just isn't Iron Man. Obviously, I know it functions very differently in the story of Tony Stark escaping the cave, but it just is a prototype. And also, when I think about the Mark 1 suit, I tend to think of Ironmonger as well, because let's be honest, Ironmonger is just a bigger, beefier version of the Mark 1 suit. It's big, it's clunky, I know intentionally so, and it's just not one of my favorite suits. Coming in number 14 is the Mark II Iron Man armor, seen in Iron Man. This suit is, again, the basic design of Iron Man, but silver. And while silver is a flashy color, and it looked very cool on screen, and it's still, you know, has its merits. I think it looks very shiny, it looks very chrome-ish, and it looks sleek in its own way, like a prototype way, and in that sense, it's a very cool suit of armor. Again, it's really not Iron Man. It's more of just a mock-up of an Iron Man suit. And again, the flaps scene, where all the different flaps and gears are turning on the Iron Man suit, that scene is obviously very cool, and it looks awesome every single time you watch it, but still, again, just doesn't really evoke Iron Man to me. Coming in at number 13 is the Mark IV armor, seen in Iron Man 2. Mark IV just kind of exists to me, honestly. When I was looking up all of the Iron Man suits and looking at pictures of them again and refreshing my memory, I just vaguely remembered the Mark IV, and when I looked at pictures of it again, I went, wait, when did I see this suit? And honestly, the only reason the Mark IV exists is just to not have the Mark III at the beginning of Iron Man 2, because it obviously very quickly goes away in favor of the Mark V and the Mark VI. Mark IV is just a little bit slightly different version of the Mark III, and it, well, I mean, it's a classic design. It's the classic Iron Man in the MCU design. But again, it really doesn't differentiate itself very much from the other suits of armor. It doesn't really do anything, to be quite honest with you. Coming in at number 12 is Mark 50, seen in Avengers Infinity War. Again, this list is very subjective. And honestly, I hate this suit of armor. Now, again, it's not the worst. It's not at the very bottom because it does have its moments in the films. Like, there are some moments of CGI where it looks incredible, especially when, like I said in my Infinity War review, it's more dimly lit and you can kind of see the reflection of the armor, especially in the scenes where Tony is fighting the Guardians on the Q ship. Those scenes look really nice. When Tony is fighting Thanos on Titan, I don't know if anyone else can see this or if it's just me, but the suit looks awful. It looks so poorly rendered and poorly designed, and honestly, the fluidity of the nanotech, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. That being said, look, it's unique. It has its own flair to it, unlike some of the suits that I'm going to be talking about and that I have talked about in this video, and it has its moments again. Like some of the extensions that Tony Stark has on it, like the little wing flaps and the rocket boosters and all that sort of stuff, it's cool. So while it's not completely atrocious, it has its moments of just looking absolutely awful in the MCU. Coming in at number 11 is the Mark VI armor seen in Iron Man 2 and the beginning of the Avengers. Mark 6 is, well, the classic Iron Man suit with a triangle in the middle. Yay, a triangle. Honestly, it's a fine suit. Like, honestly, a lot of the suits that are going to be coming up on the list that are clumped together, not near the top, are basically the same or similar designs, just tweaked slightly. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're classic quintessential Iron Man suits that we come to know and love in the MCU. There's just nothing unique about it. In this case, well, the Iron Man Mark 6 is the Iron Man suit with a triangle in the middle. There's really nothing else I can say about it. But okay, well, we'll give it props for that Avengers de-suiting scene because that scene is cool. Coming in at number 10 is the Mark 80 seen in Avengers Endgame. This suit is fine. I mean, the yellow arms, sure, looks different, looks unique. The nanotech, again, it doesn't really work for me. The CGI on it sometimes just, it doesn't look that great. Like the scene where he's suiting up before Hulk snaps his fingers, there's just something a little clunky about the CGI, always with the nanotech and the Russo brothers. We'll talk about the Civil War suit in just a little bit, but that suit up scene looks, I mean, pretty great for the most part. But these scenes, I don't know. There's something about them that don't make me really believe that there is technology like this, unlike the Jon Favreau Iron Man suits, which I prefer pretty slightly. Then again, to me, there's nothing as atrocious to me as there was in Infinity War with the Mark 50, so I'll put the Mark 80 here. I don't really love the suit, but I don't hate it either. It's fine. Continue on the theme with Wait, You Exist is number 9, Mark 43, seen in Avengers Age of Ultron. Again, this is a basic Iron Man suit design that happens in Phase 2 and Phase 3. They don't deviate from the suit design too terribly much. And again, I mean, spoiler alert, the reason they changed the Iron Man suits in the first place is to make money off of toys and hot toys and merchandise. But anyways, so they made a Mark 43 in the first place because, I mean, the Mark 42 was kind of broken and also more toys. It looks fine. It looks good, actually. It's a very good base Iron Man design. And if I saw this suit, I would kind of have a hard time pinpointing it, but, you know, I just think of it as an Iron Man suit. It's good. It works. Coming in at number 8 is Mark 45, seen in the latter half of Avengers Age of Ultron. This is the Mark 43, but shinier and slightly different. So I really can't say that much about it because it's just shinier, and I guess shinier looks cooler. So yeah, I really don't know what to say about this suit. It's good, and it's slightly better than the Mark 43, so I'll put it one spot ahead of the Mark 43. Coming in at number 7 is the Mark 46, seen in Captain America Civil War. This suit, like some of the other Iron Man suits that come later on in the chronology, has its moments. Some moments, like for example in the airport battle, and I've noticed again in broad daylight, doesn't look great. Like some of the CGI surrounding the helmet flipping up and all that sort of stuff, it doesn't look super realistic. But some of the scenes where it's lit in darker environments, it looks gorgeous. Like that scene where Tony Stark is suiting up in the helicopter and puts his finger in that little gadget and suits up like that. I mean, that scene is one of the coolest MCU Iron Man suit up scenes ever. So this suit has its merits. And honestly, again, just working from that Age of Ultron Mark 42 Iron Man 3 design, it looks good. It has no real complaints from me. And the suits that you're going to be hearing about for the next few spots don't really have complaints from me either. It's just how do they improve upon the design? How do they add little things to the Iron Man suit? And this suit looks pretty cool, unless it's really lit in broad daylight, in which case it looks kind of weird. Coming in at number 6 is Mark 47, seen in Spider-Man Homecoming. Again, this is the same basic suit design from Captain America Civil War, but it has silver in it. And honestly, I really like the silver. It's such a subtle and obvious cash grab by the studio to make more toys and make more money, but I like the silver. I don't know what to say. I think it looks cool and it looks different. It's, again, the same suit design, but it looks, I don't know, fresher. And I know they're tricking me into thinking it's a different suit entirely, but call me a sucker. I like this suit. Starting at the top 5, at number 5 is Mark 3 in the first Iron Man. Again, while this suit doesn't necessarily have anything special about it, there's something just classic about the suit. And we get to see it in action a lot. And honestly, it looks fantastic. Every single suit up scene, especially the one where Iron Man Tony Stark steps into that little platform and has the suit come onto him with those little robots and like all those little nano bits and things. I don't know what technology is, but anyways, it looks phenomenal. I love how real the suit is. You can see all the gears, you can see all the individual parts coming together to fit around Tony Stark. And when the suit is in action, you can see the dirt, you can see the dust, you can see how battle worn it is. I love how just tactical and tangible it feels. This is such a great Iron Man suit, and I wish that the later films, while embracing nanotechnology or whatever they wanted to do, was still able to just have the suit feel a little bit more grounded and real, not just, I don't know, not just like magic, maybe? Coming in at number 4 is the Mark 7, seen in the Avengers. I don't necessarily think this is the most amazing suit, but again, with building upon the fundamental base Iron Man suits like the Mark III or the Mark 42 or whatever those designs are, the ones that just kept constantly getting improved and tweaked slightly, this is a great suit of armor. It looks sleek, but it looks battle-worn, it looks battle-tested. You can see the grime and the soot and the dust on it after the Battle of New York. It looks fantastic. The suit-up scene is incredible when Iron Man is being thrown out of the building. This is just one of those Iron Man suits that basically nails it for me. This is the suit from Phase 1 that I would think of when I think of Iron Man. It's such a great suit, maybe next to Mark III as well. It's a wonderful suit. Coming in at number 3 is Mark 44, aka Veronica, aka Hulkbuster, seen in Avengers Age of Ultron. This suit is totally different, and I love that. I mean, of course it's totally different. It has to battle the Hulk, but this is not like any of the other Iron Man suits that we've seen before. It is huge, first of all, but it still feels tactical in the sense that you feel the parts and you see the parts being built on top of the shell that is the Hulkbuster armor. That's what I love about the CGI parts of the Avengers Age of Ultron and the Hulkbuster fight. You see the satellite deploying pieces of arms, pieces of hands, and you can see the actual Iron Man suit underneath all of that. It feels weighty. It feels like it can pack a punch. It can beat up the Hulk. I love this suit. Coming in at number 2 is the Mark V, suitcase armor as seen in Iron Man 2. This, by far and away, is the best scene in Iron Man 2. The suitcase suit-up scene is the best scene in Iron Man 2. This armor, I cannot believe they never brought something like this back. And I guess they kind of did, hint, hint, wink, wink, in the number 1 spot. But my gosh, like for 2010, 11 years ago, 11 plus years ago, this holds up so incredibly well. And I'm so sad this only got about 10 minutes of screen time. I want the Mark V back. Incredible. Coming in at number 1, my favorite Iron Man suit, and again, completely subjective of course, is the Prodigal Son, Mark 42, as seen in Iron Man 3. There's something about this suit that combines everything I like about an Iron Man suit. It's tactical, so all the parts feel real, yet it is embracing that nanotechnology that just went way overboard in my opinion in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. But still, you can see all the tactical little bits attaching to Tony Stark, and yet it feels real. It feels like you could actually step into this suit, and there are models of these things that you can see at Disneyland and other places as well. It's just incredible. On top of that, it looks great as well. It looks great in action. The CGI is unbelievably well done, and I just love everything about this suit. I wish that more suits of armor were like this for Iron Man and hopefully Ironheart, I guess, but still, this suit of armor just, it does it for me. This is the best, I think, Iron Man suit ever made in the MCU. So what do you guys think of my rankings? Let me know in the comments down below. And let me know what are some of your favorite Iron Man suits as well. If you have a top 10, maybe you can drop your top 10. If you have a top 15 as well, make sure to let me know down below. And if you want to see me rank every single Iron Man suit, well, I mean, give this video a like and support the channel. Then I'll know to make that video. And if you want to see a War Machine, Rescue, Peter Parker, Iron Spider suit video, then by all means, let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and give this video a like and check out the videos on the screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.